All right, hello there, everyone. Today we're going to talk about another platform that actually offers a tremendous opportunity for each of us to fundamentally and significantly enhance our supply of funds. Okay, I choose my words carefully in part because our languaging is changing. How we use words are changing. We have meaning associated with all these words, everything that we're familiar with. And in some regards, that's part of our problem because we start assuming things associated with the words that we choose. So, in this regard, I'll give you an example. Talk about money. Everyone's attention comes right up, okay, because there's a presumption about what that is and what it means. However, what we think about money and what money actually is and how it functions, how it works, are two very different things. We tend to think of money as something that's, generic, that is even impartial, you might say, unbiased. And the way money works, the way money is managed, maybe money itself is, but those who manage it, so to speak, are not. They are biased. They are partial to certain things, and their management of money, as we even presently understand it, reflects that partiality. The fact that the vast majority of this population on this planet are in either a state of deficit, not having enough money, or in a state of debt where they got plenty of that and few ways of getting out, shows this true lack of balance, if you will, okay, of lack of impartiality. The sense of a individual or even a national debt to who, to what? To an organization? No, it's not to an organization, it's to people. We have taken people and put them behind walls called corporations, called organizations, and we've stopped seeing these are just folks, just like you and I. They don't have any greater power, any greater ability than you and I have, except that we don't see them for what they are and who they are. So I didn't expect to go off in a tangent like that, but that's what happens. So in this particular case, and what we're going to do today is look at a platform that has sprung up because I did a video earlier on a platform called Drip, and one that I actually very much like that has had an amazing effect and beneficial on my life in the past year. But today we're going to talk about a platform that's different. It's in the vein of a Drip, only in the sense that it functions in the crypto space. There's another thing about using the word money. We're talking about cryptocurrencies and a way of fundamentally onboarding into that space, but in a very different way. Drip is wonderful in the way that it does and what it does. This platform is called Co-op Crowd, does something totally different, but it has the same type of effect. So I was going to do this to give you a little bit of a hint here, and so to speak. What we're going to do here, I've talked a little bit about Co-op Crowd before, and I have spoken to some people and who I've invited to join. And as of this date, in fact, I have someone who I am going to facilitate their onboarding, because so much of our population right now has probably heard about the crypto space, but they've not really investigated it. They don't really know their way around it. And I believe, at least, that much of the reticence that we see sometimes comes from people not wanting to admit that they don't really know their way around this environment, because it is a different environment. It's a different way of doing things. And I've been in it for 5 years and I'm still learning it. And in addition to that, it's still evolving. There are so many things that exist today that didn't exist 5 years ago. Certainly, Drip didn't. Drip is only a year old now. Now, Co-op Crowd actually has been around in other iterations for longer. In fact, while Drip has been around for about a year, Co-op Crowd has actually been around for a year in this iteration, but it has existed in other forms beforehand. So let me go to this next thing here. We're going to move into some visuals on it, because what I intend to do today is I am going to facilitate an onboarding, and I figured I would just show you my process or take you along with me. Now, I'm not doing this in a way that I've got this all worked out. I'm going to see what I need to do, and then I'm just going to do it. If I record it and it all works out just fine, then you're going to see it. Let me do the next thing. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to log in. I'm logging into my account. My friend who I've shown this platform to, and they don't have a wallet at all. They don't have any experience with cryptocurrencies and all of those things. And again, like I said, this is evolving. So it's like, okay, get in and get started. And so they sent me their funds, and I have converted it to the point where I can now get their tokens for them. So we're going to talk about what the process is. And again, this is not scripted on my part. This is just what we're going to be doing. Now, there's a couple things. Co-op Crowd has, and in fact, when I did my presentation the last time, I was going to do what did I do? I had to actually get my own Co-op 250 account active, all right? Because I have not been one to get this done in 84 days. So I actually had a Co-op 250, and as part of the Co-op 250 pool, but this is a monthly involvement, so to speak. You're replenishing whatever pool you're in each month. And so I did not replenish quickly enough to actually get to a place where the system was paying for itself. So my Co-op 25, I had enough in there. As long as you have enough in your wallet, then you can come out of your pocket one time. Is basically what it is. And that's something very different from the typical investment type of programs. I'm going to switch over here and look at what we have to do. So I'm going to need to acquire tokens for my friend who is joining, who's going to be a new member. And they are also joining the co-op. They're getting co-op combo is what it's called, so that they can participate in the basic crowd stage pool, if you will, which is the Co-op 25 pool, as well as the Co-op 250 pool. It costs 10 times more than the first, but what that means is that for every time you receive a donation from anyone in your regular lineage, if you will, anyone who also has and involves in the Co-op 250 pool, you will get a second disbursement of 10 times the first. So, for example, when someone joined with the Co-op 25, and they did this, they bought the combo, I received $8.75 for the Co-op 25 donation. Okay, I received that amount as a disbursement from the system. However, because I was in also Co-op 250, as well as the new member joining with Co-op 250, I got $87.50 at the same time. So you can see basically that I'll say it this way, for a few dollars more, you're recouping your amounts much quicker, and you could say you're in the black that much faster, because when you have your three, you've made enough essentially to cover what occurs over the course of each 28-day period. However, when those three have gotten their three, They've invited 3 other people to join for themselves. They've begun the process that we're doing right now and that my friend is now beginning to do. Then I'm receiving disbursements from those as well. And now not it's two things. Not only am I in the black, again, no more money out of my pocket, but in addition to that, when you've got those 12 now are active around you, the system opens up payments and disbursements to you that goes down as far as 10 levels. We are inviting 3 people to join. That's the beginning and the end of our recruitment requirements. Invite 3 people to join Co-op Crowd who are going to do the same thing. They're not coming in to join and sit and expect things to occur. They're going to literally do exactly what I'm doing. No one's pushing me to do this other than myself, my desire to get my own project, financial, and whatever other objectives that I have that involve money done. Okay? And each member who is a donor, I'm a donor in Co-op Crowd. I send my donor ID to my friend and to each that joins, and that connects them to me, so to speak, in Co-op Crowd. As such, when someone new joins that is connected to that lineage, I will receive up to 10 levels or 10 generations. Now, it's on a matrix so that level 1 is 3 people. Level 10 is 59,049 people. The Co-op Crowd system, when that would all fill out, it'd be about 72 cents to me. But the point is, it's 59,049 people. That all adds up. The system is managing all of those things. And so each individual becomes a receiver as well as a giver. In contrast to the standard crowdfunding scenario where you have someone with projects, you have the platform which determines which projects they will accept and they'll not, and they'll judge all that. And then you have your donors, your whatever they are called, who are donating, but they may be receiving something in the form of products, for example. Yeah, they may get something that way, but otherwise, and mostly, it's the good feeling, so to speak. Now, we got the good feelings, that's for sure, but there are no other things. This is a pure cooperative or power of cooperation system, and so I'm putting some in. Every member, when they succeed at inviting 3, they start receiving and receiving and receiving. After you have your 3 and your 3 have their 3, that's 12 people. After you've got 12 people associated with you, then the Co-op Crowd system is opening up residual income to the point where you are receiving every 28 days from your growing crowd stage that is pointed at you as its center. Every member is not only a donor, but they are the center of their own crowd stage. And your crowd stage is not mine. Mine is not anyone else's. We have these nexus points that we cross, but each one is literally being grown around us, and each one is unique. It's really, really fascinating. So what we're going to do is this. Now that I see I need to go here, I'm going to buy some tokens. They have made some additional changes, and I got kind of caught up in one of the changes this past week when I was buying some co-op combo option or package here, and I came up to pay for this, and so I made a transaction from MetaMask, and it appeared to work. It certainly, the funds went out of my wallet, but after several hours I didn't have any. Well, after hours I was already on support and saying, hey, this has happened, etc., and I don't have anything yet. And as it turned out, it was the next day I heard from them. I gave them all the information, and then I waited again, didn't hear from it. And in this particular case, what I did not know or appreciate was that the co-op crowd was dealing with something that virtually any and everyone that is dealing with Ethereum has had to do, because they have just had a, you could say, historic change in the way Ethereum's as a blockchain works and as a token works. They've moved from proof of stake, I think it is, to proof of work, something like that. And if I get it backwards, someone will tell me for sure. But the bottom line, the change was done and it affected everyone. So it took Co-op Crowd. They finally sent something out the other day, I guess it's just yesterday, saying they had to go through 20 million lines of code to basically check and double check and make corrections here and there, so that all of their counting and everything else works properly again. And so, and at the time they sent that note out, they still only had 20,000 lines of code to go. Well, when you misstate something, you need to fix it yourself. And I really misstated this. So Ethereum basically made a change from proof of work to proof of stake. And in fact, this is the email from Co-op Crowd. Ethereum did a massive merge from proof of work to proof of stake. It was a merge they've been wanting to do for 7 years, and that merge caused havoc for all companies doing business with ETH on the blockchain, including Co-op Crowd. The merge disrupted the easy flow of transactions until the two blockchains were fully merged and synchronized. Co-op Crowd had to synchronize almost 16 million lines of transactions, and as of that particular writing, because this is now, I'm reading this a couple days, well, a couple weeks later, as of that email, they had only 20,000 lines to go. Okay, and I will report that probably with, I don't know if it was the same day or a little time after all of that, everything went back to normal in my account. So now back to your regularly scheduled podcast. Well, I'll continue now. Peace out. Well, the bottom line is they got it fixed, and my wallet, I'll go back here first of all, does now reflect that transaction, because in your back in the back here, there it is, and on the 22nd, which was just yesterday, so it now showed up in there. Now I'll go back here to tokens and this purchase that I want to make, and I'm going to put in one for the co-op combo. I'll go to next, and I do not have a sufficient enough balance to make this purchase, so I'm going to need to do it, make it with cryptocurrency. Now, a few days ago, I was going to do this with USDT and Ethereum, etc., and that's where, in fact, that is what and how I did the last one. But one of the other things that Co-op Crowd has done just recently is they have added a new blockchain to their system. So there's an Ethereum-based wallet within the Co-op Crowd system. This system, when you join, this is what you get. You're not paying extra for it. This is part of what you get to interact, and this is the Co-op Crowd ecosystem. Now, the default is USDT. This really makes it very easy to speak in terms of a certain value amount, because USDT, which is referred to as a stable coin, is pegged in value to that of the US dollar. However, if you click on this little field here, you'll see that this is a unique system. You can use any of these coins. Oh my God. Oh gosh, I got some hex. I don't have enough hex to do this, but it can take hex. You can use any of these coins to actually make your deposits. I'll do Ave, and boom. If you got that many Ave, there you go. I don't know anyone that is doing anything like this. But what I'm going to do, and this is what I've done, getting back to Solana. Solana has a blockchain. Ooh, the one thing I did not see is Sol, S-O-L. I may have to still stop this, or either see if I can go down here and find SOL. If you got all these others, I didn't do this before there they are, look at there. 12.78 SOL, 12.7843 SOL. I can pay it this way, and I'd have to put this amount, 405 and 32 cents. So let me do that. I'm going to write that down. 405.32. Now, that being the case, I copy the amount, and it's waiting for a deposit. So the next thing, and I've never used Solana up until well, this is my first transaction. Okay, so I have Solana here, and I'm going to do a send. I'm going to paste the address in, and I have to put in the exact number, 405.32 cents. Okay, and click next. Here we go. Oh, you know something? Ooh, let's see. Let me back up. 12.7843. Excuse me. I can't put this in the form of Solana. So there is, this is going to be interesting. I'll tell you what, I'm going to just send it, because at the very least it's there. Boom, it's sent. All right. So there wasn't a place for me to put that specific amount in, and so I'm going to have to basically see what happens now. Boy, you talk about going right on in. But what will normally happen is this. The issue was making the deposit or putting the notation in US dollars, and this was a Solana wallet. I wasn't able to put in the USD value, so I put in the value in Solana that was indicated in the prompt to do it from Co-op Crowd, and that worked. First of all, I have sent it. I just got a notice that the funds were sent from my wallet, and the point is, it's not a question of that I put it to the right place. The question will be, will this solve or satisfy? Because what I do typically, when you're using dollars, it's easier to simply put that amount in, and that's kind of a double check too. But this is what the system asks for this particular invoice, and so when they receive it, it'll be associated with this particular invoice, and that should solve it. The bottom line will be whether when I have the funds available, the tokens available in my wallet. Now, what I'm going to do while I'm sitting here, going back to my wallet, and I can look at invoices. And so this is the one that I just made, and you'd be able to see right off. Right now it's still waiting. Let's see, refresh payment status. But the bottom line, when that is done, this will show as complete, and it'll also show that my that the tokens are available in my in my back office there. At which point in time, because the new member is totally new to this, I have his sponsor ID, and so once those tokens are available to me, I will assign them. I'll assign 3 Co-op 25 tokens and 1 Co-op 250 token to his account. They're his, and this can all be done within Co-op Crowd itself, at which point in time he now has his 3, he now has his 1 Co-op 250 token, and then I will take another Co-op 220 Co-op 25 token and assign it to him. That connects him and me together, at which point in time that's when I receive. And so I'll receive a disbursement from what he just what he has. And cool thing is he already has his first of his 3 lined up to join. They've already watched some of the videos and other things, and they're eager to do that themselves. And so I'll be helping them to get started so he can get his 3 out. And the thing that we're passing on, though, because when you assign that token, you're giving your token to someone. They have joined, they have funded, they have their tokens in their account, in their wallet, if you will, and that's a fund. This is a distributed fund or decentralized fund. So essentially, we are also fund holders, we're fund attractors, and as new members join, each member in the lineage up to 10 generations receives, and the system is paying. So for example, the person that this new member is going to be onboarding into Co-op Crowd, well, I get $8.75 from the onboarding of this new member because he's direct to me. The person that he is inviting, who is not direct to me, he's direct to him, he will receive the $8.75, but I'll receive $5 and something. There is an amount, and so on and so on. But I would be receiving that $5 and something from 9 people, as the 3 people that are connected to me also have and do their onboarding, so to speak. So it's a process, and it's an organic one, or it can be organic. And the basic thing is it can happen as quickly as you are motivated. I had a desire, first of all, to say it and present it in the way that I present that makes sense for me, but also present it in a way that I can present it. And so I'm now doing this and doing it this way to be able to present it to more people. And again, I have no experience with transacting with this Solana. So this is my first with this, and we will see what happens here. Let me see here. If I go to my tokens, let's see, my tokens. So it has not completed yet, because I am sitting here. When I do have 1 token that is unassigned already, and that's what I will send to the new member. But when this transaction is completed, I'll have 3 more Co-op 25 tokens and also 1 Co-op 250 token. Okay, so not knowing how long this is going to take, I'm going to, I won't say I'll pause it, I'll stop it. We'll just kind of see. I'm going back to my invoices, and we'll just see how long this this process actually took, and then we'll go from there. So it is a process. It is exciting. Oh, the one other thing I was going to do, because again, you can see that my Solana are now at a different level. I got 13 Sol because each Solano has its own kind of value to it. You see my transaction there, and the transaction can all be tracked. You click on here, you can see that, okay, this has been completed. It's gone to where I sent it, and I can check this clipboard here, and it place that it was sent. Yeah, there we go. I gotta manage my my little clickies here. The place that it was sent can be double checked. It can be all this can be confirmed. Let's see. I click there. Let's see. Go there on the scans, Soul scan. All this can be checked as to where it was sent. Everything can be tracked. And so even if there's a glitch, you got the forensics that are just built into this entire system, which is so cool. This is part of what the blockchain is. This is a part of what makes it. I see something else on that, and I'm going to, I got some conversation I got to do with, possibly, with support, because this is part of the checkout of Co-op 50/50, and we're Co-op Crowd. Co-op 50/50 is a prior iteration of Co-op Crowd, and the systems, they're still working some things out. So anyway, I got to contact them and just let them know what I've done, and they'll get it worked out, and sure they'll get it all. Well, I've contacted them before, and they fixed everything that I brought to their attention, and that's a good thing too. So anyway, this is what I'm going to do for now. Let me go back here. You saw it, and let me get this squared away so that I can finish this and get these things assigned. Anyway, you guys take care. I will talk to you soon. This is an evolving situation, but it's one that is, for me, I feel is worth the effort. Anyway, you take care. Peace. Be well. Be prosperous. Well, we're going along, and it showed confirmations. In fact, it may have shown 24 just before now, because it was waiting for some last things to occur, and I'm realizing that, not knowing what to expect or how fast, this didn't take or hasn't taken more than about 10 minutes. Basically, I'm seeing the check mark. That should actually even indicate that this has been done. So let's see. Invoices closed. Payment completed. Hallelujah. There you go. I was about to write a whole note to support and everything else. Just didn't know what the process was. Now, am I still in? Here we go. Yes, I am still in. Looks like I am. So if I go to tokens now, and I look at, these are Co-op 25 tokens, and I have my look at there. I've got 4 tokens now, and in the Co-op 250 side, and I look at my unused, I have 1. So we can go to the next step here. All right. It's all good when this stuff happens. You know, something is always happening. The question is, do we know what to do, and can we work our way through it, or are we patient enough? So at any rate, I'm going to assign tokens, and because I could do this all at once. I could send 4 tokens to him. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go assign tokens, and I'm going to put in his donor ID, and that is 289 999 8. So we'll go with that. There we go. Got a name. And we're going to do the type. And we're going to put in the number. Now, I'm going to end up doing this because I think it doesn't matter, but I'm going to do it procedurally. So first of all, I'm confirming. Token assignment complete. That's done in real time. So let's do this again. 289599998. And oops. In this case, we'll do a co-op 250. We're going to send him 1 and assign that. Token assignment is complete. Boom. Now we're going to assign one more. 289599998. Yep. And co-op 20. I got one of those. How many? I'm going to assign 1. And I'm going to confirm it. Be doomed. There you go. Now, just saying I don't have any more to assign. I don't need any more at this moment. If I need more, I go up here and buy them. Now, let's go up to my dashboard. It's already done it. See, where I was when I said the co-op free dashboard, this is for demonstration purposes. So you can literally see what the process is even before you do it. This is a way of showing how the system works. But this is the actual. So I have actually just made $8.75 because of that transaction. And on the co-op 250 side, I just made $87.50. So the system does the disbursements right away. Now I will contact my friend, let him know he's good to go. And you can see down below, let me go down here to my wallet, which shows the transactions. Okay, there's my transactions, etc., etc., etc. And you can see here the Solana wallet. I have an Ethereum wallet, and I also have a Solana wallet. And these funds can be taken out at any time. Now, I'm not going to do that at this point in time. Needless to say, in fact, what I just earned has not showed up here. When I come back in, this will actually update to reflect the $87.50 plus the $8.75. So that's another 90 some odd dollars. This will show it there. Those funds are available. So this is the co-op crowd system. This is it working. And when you start seeing this, that you can use a system like this. When I get, and I'll go back now just to wrap this up. When I have 3 people who are active, then that completes one part of it. They're active, they have their 3 tokens, so they've got 9 tokens, okay? And then each of those 3 are motivated from the beginning to introduce this to 3 people. With my help or without my help. The person that invited me doesn't know I'm doing this. I don't require to be pushed one way or another. I push myself. And it's not even a push. The system is going to work for a person who is willing to do the work. Whatever that work, whatever it takes to invite and help those 3 to get started with Co-op Crowd, with the platform. But they are literally doing it for themselves. They are enriching their own life frankly, in ways and in amounts that will boggle the mind. This is now the beauty of being able to have Co-op Crowd in addition to something like DRIP, because the funds that are brought in here now, because this was going to be interesting. As my understanding now, before they had it where all withdrawals were done in Ethereum, but as of actually beginning of September of 2022, which was the first year of this iteration of Co-op Crowd, the disbursements are in USDT. They're in stablecoins. So they could be withdrawn back into your wallet. I clicked here to basically open my Phantom wallet up again, and I was basically just saying my balance has not yet updated or refreshed. The system hasn't refreshed, even though it's now showing up in my dashboard. So the distribution has been made or is being made. The system will reflect this additional amount, because whether I showed this or not, on the Co-op 25 side, I had 875, as I mentioned before, because that gentleman is direct. But in addition to that, because he was Co-op 250, just like I am, I received an additional 8750. These disbursements happen simultaneously. Okay, so now I went down to my Co-op wallet and looking at transactions, and you can see I mentioned that there is an Ethereum wallet, there's a Ethereum wallet address, and there's also a Solana wallet address. And that was my first time doing that, and it worked perfectly. I didn't even have to wait and do just USDT. I actually paid it in the native currency of Sol as for this particular blockchain. And let me jump over here. I had done this, gosh, it was sitting here right in front of me. So this is the blockchain that is now a part of your wallet. So you have Ethereum, you have Solana as the blockchains themselves. Ethereum made smart contracts possible. Ethereum has made many things possible. Solana, all of those things are possible too, but it's much faster. It can process these transactions much quicker, so it's very attractive to developers, and the transaction fees are much less. So it can handle more. There you go, low cost forever, fast forever. Those are decentralized and secure. This is the Solana blockchain, and this is also because developers will create projects for this ecosystem. That is why it will also grow. And for example, discover the hottest projects that are on Solana. And guess what? One of them is Phantom. And Phantom is a wallet that is much like MetaMask, which is used on a browser as an extension, as well as it can be used on your smartphones or tablets. Well, Phantom is similar type of wallet, and it can be installed as an extension on your browser as well as on your mobile phone and your tablets. And the way that you do this, you go to your various app stores to get it for whatever device you have, but you also do it and install it as an extension on your browser, on your and it shows which browsers it can use and work on. But the other thing that you will do is you will use, well, they've got address books and things like that, but there are phrases. There is so when you want to install it on you install it here on your desktop computer, for example, and then you want it on your phone or your tablet, you install the units, and then there is a set of 12 words in a specific sequence that you will write down, and you will use that sequence of words to establish your wallet. Even if you have nothing in it, you can install it, and that basically syncs all three up, and you can use from your desktop to your phone to your tablet interchangeably. You can access them, and they're all accessing the same account. These are the things that you will do, and these are the reasons why this system is growing. This platform is growing. As more people use them, they will continue to grow, and as more people explore, they will grow as well. So that's where things are at this point in time. I'm trying to almost recall what the heck I'm waiting for right now. We've done it back here in Co-op Crowd. The only thing I haven't refreshed and seen my balance change at all yet, but all of that stuff is happening. In the meantime, we're seeing that the system, the platform itself, actually does work. I'm going to let my friend know that his account is now active. He's got his tokens. He can go into his account and see his tokens, and we can start planning to talk to his friend and help his friend on board as well, etc., etc. This is really exciting. The cool thing too is that this work you do now, I've had 3, but then it's a question of learning. Well, they may not be as motivated as I am, and you know something? If a person's easy to discourage, it's best not to get into something like this. But on the other hand, if the term easy to discourage applies to you, if in your mind it applies to you, this is something to get in, because it's better to actually get over that ease of discouragement. You need to want something more. And if and when you succeed at doing this, and if and when you do not accept, it's not that you don't accept no's. You respect the person's no if that's what's there for them. But you keep on until you find the ones who say yes, and then you help them do the same thing. But when they do this, they begin to do this on their own, just like you're doing, just like I'm doing this on my own. I'm not being pushed. I'm not being sold on the idea that this is a great thing. It is what it is. It works. And because it works the way it does, I don't expect to see a whole bunch of support from normal channels. I hear so much information from people that are supposed to be trusted, and they're saying things that are absolutely untrue and expecting people to listen to them. So I vet things myself, I figure things out, and I use my own inner instincts as well. And I also use my own enthusiasm. I use my own words. I have my own, okay? But ultimately, when you listen to the developer of this, that's a passionate, I'm just to say, dude. His name is David Rosen. If you look up things that are written about him, you'll see, oh, it seems sketchy and this, that, and the other. But you're looking at sites that are comparing it to something else or other things, and they present the impression of sketchiness. But the system itself works. So if the system works, and it is not a quote-unquote investment vehicle in the sense that we are typically used to that term, that's another reason why we are clear or cognizant of the words we use. You start looking at what is really being invested, and what's being invested in order to get the real benefits, unlock what Co-op Crowd offers, is your energy, your time, your courage, your willingness to be self-motivated and positive and patient. Even if people that you talk to say no, you just talk to more people until you talk to the ones who see this and say, yeah, I'm in it. Let's get started. And the more you do it, the easier it will be. There's support for all of this, including myself, but in so doing, we need to look upon this as easy. But what are you basing the ease on? Are you basing the ease on what someone else has told you? Or are you basing the ease on what you know about yourself? The fact is that, yeah, you know you not just can do this, you will do this. Everyone can, not everyone will. But the point is, that's where the decisions make. Their decisions are within yourself. So that being said, gosh, I found another 20 some odd minutes to jabber on. So I will end with this. I'll splice all this together and invite you to join me. Let me click over here and do this, and maybe even do, oh, let's do that. That's okay. There's one other little thing. Well, I'll say this. All right. So what I'm going to do, all that noise and all that effort for that. So in fact, I'll even do it a little better than that. Boom. How about that? So if you elect to join us, you can go to coopcrowd.com. You can click. So when you go back there and you go in with that particular sequence of, oh gee, well, maybe you are seeing these things. So you click in up at the top. I would log in, but if you click join, you would put your information in, name, etc., your email address, confirm your email, put your telephone number in, and you can be anywhere in the world. So cool. All right. Then your password, and then if you come to my actual site there, as this was, the donor key would already be there, 222-48804. Otherwise, you'd actually just fill it in, and you go next, and then you'd be in. The system would literally create a space for you, and then the process starts. What we were just talking about in the sense of activating, because it will prompt you to activate Co-op 25 first, and then, or when you're choosing to activate, not doing it first, but you can select the co-op combo and go through that process. That gets you co-op 25 in that crowd stage, but in addition to it, you also are into this co-op 250 pool. You can literally scale what you are seeking very largely, because when you succeed in inviting the three and the three inviting their three, when anyone you invite also gets co-op 250 tokens, you are going to actually get those 10x disbursements because you are in it as well. Therefore, as people are growing, as people are joining from your invitation and the invitation of the people in your cooperative, the funds will automatically be sent to you accordingly. And again, each crowd stage is unique. It's not one crowd stage that is funneling something for everyone. It is a crowd stage that is literally unique to each member, and it's formed from the efforts of each member and is directed specifically toward each member. That is what makes this thing very, very special. It is unique and is of great significance, especially for people who are seeking ways to bring together significant income. And this is being done why and how? Through cooperation, each doing literally the same thing. Small amount in, large amounts are not necessary, or relatively fixed amounts. Let's put it this way. It is not an investment vehicle. Never has been in the traditional sense of the term. It is an investment in attitude, in cooperation, in, gosh, you could even say in relation. That's what these things are. So with that, thanks again. I wish you well. Hey, join and let's get this started. So it's 24 hours later, or it's the next day. I don't know if it's 24 or not, but it's the next day. And I just finished watching a co-op crowd webinar with David T. Rosen. So I decided to go into my account just to update. And so we'll show you where things are now. And there we can see, and I will showcase this to you this way. Let's see here. Two things. One, you will see in this area here that the balance has been updated now in my wallet to reflect those additions yesterday. And I also talked about the Ethereum and Solana wallet addresses, and they are right here as well. So you can see the system works very nicely and it's evolving. That's really kind of the cool thing here. There is a group called Smarter Than Money that is on Telegram, and I'm also looking even to start even something and some other groups, because with all of that I've said about this is not my primary point of interest, and not even drip. These are not my primary points of interest. It is so primary for so many people around the world that I can't ignore what it is. And plus, these platforms are amazing for achieving what they can do. But what's most important? The most important thing for us, for me for sure, and certainly for us, is to discover what we are, who we are. Discover that we have power that we typically know not of. And because we don't know our power, we basically use it unwisely, incorrectly, to our detriment. And then we're surprised. We think life is just that way when we don't realize that life that we're experiencing is simply a reflection of how we are seeing life. We have to see ourselves as part of life, and we need to start to value ourselves. We need to treasure who we are and what we are. We start realizing that we are immortal beings. No disrespect to any church or religious organization or anyone else, but that's not necessary. We existed before the church did. We will exist after it goes away. Doesn't matter what church it is. Just the way I see it. But that's a conversation that we should be having, not necessarily with me. You can have it with me, but we should be having it with ourselves. We should be going inside and starting to see the world differently, beginning with our own world and our own self. See ourselves differently, start seeing ourselves lovingly, start forgiving ourselves for the dumb things we've done and are probably still doing, but resolving to do better, to make our life better, in spite of what people are telling us we ought to be expecting. These are the things that to me are important and will be, irrespective of whatever happens with Co-op Crowd or Drip or anything else. But I'm certainly glad I found them both, or they found me. So with all that said, thanks again. Until next time, I'm out of here.